The referee, Mr. Paris, with his final instructions. 10 3-minute rounds.
Well, I suppose you both in the dressing room, you know what I expect. You punch with the knuckle part of the glove, break when I tell you to, and defend yourself at all times. Shake hands, boys. Good luck to you both.
Everything on the waistband, good, that's how.
Don't worry about that.
Possibly the pick of the trade matches we've had so far this season in front of us. Two stylish, tip-top technical boxers in a crucial cross-Manchester meeting. Andy Morris and Anthony Crolla, both former ABA champions, both excellent professionals. Terrific on paper, isn't it, Jim?
Yeah, this is a match that could top any bill, to be honest. It's a cheap support tonight, but what a cracking cheap support it is. Two fighters with bags of ambition. We have a new champion. You can see the odds coming up there, favouring Morris. But they both know the prize could be a crack at the British champion Gary Sykes again. So everything there for both those young men.
You heard earlier with Gary, Glenn and Jamie how tough it was to pick these two apart. Morris the slight favourite, the former British champion at featherweight, thinks he's a naturally bigger guy than Crolla. In the 9 stone 4 division, he was bang on the weight last night on the scales, but Crolla fiercely ambitious and so determined, and the momentum might be with him.
Yeah, well, Morris is a beautiful technician. He's a classy operator, but he can be outworked, which is probably the reason he didn't get the nod in that British title fight. But he produced an awful lot of quality that night. He started nicely here, but you can see the plan that Crolla has. He wants to pressurise, cut the ring down, and make Morris work in every round.
Morris's footwork and neat skills in patches. He was terrific against Gary Sykes. Did he do enough over the course of it? Questionable. Will that happen again over 10 rounds here against Crolla? Will he just know that bit too much? It really is a fascinating one. It's a good start from Morris, and my spies tell me he's looked razor sharp in sparring.
Yeah, well, Crolla pretty basic in his approach in the opening round. You're just marching straight forward with a high guard. Probably want to become a little bit more subtle as this one warms up. But, Morris looking the smoother of the two, but you can see if Crolla can keep this pressure going, 12 rounds is a long time. Sorry, 10 rounds is a long time.
10 rounds for the vacant English Super Featherweight title. What a buzzing division we have in the Super Featherweights. Lovely cameos of class already from Andy Morris, who at his best is a very fine fighter indeed.
I think Morris could do with just a little bit more snap, a bit more spite in his punches. Crolla, as you can see, very determined. He's going to come forward all night long. Won't be easily discouraged, but a good opening round, I feel, to Morris.
Totally agree. Morris with the brighter start.
Relax, don't load up like you're throwing like a
Back card here in Bolton tonight, the corner of Andy Morris, who's revitalised his career under the Hattons, and there they are, Dad Ray, Mum Carol, brother Matthew and Ricky, as we know, rehabilitating at the moment, and we wish him a fine recovery and hope to see him back at ringside soon. Here's the second round, and this is an excellent match for the English Super Featherweight title. The Manchester City blue of Andy Morris and the red and black of Anthony Million Dolla Crolla. He turned professional in a blaze of glory. Hasn't really worked out exactly to plan. He's lost a couple of times, but he believes that he'll be too young, too fresh and too much for Morris. We'll see.
Well, Morris being the classy operator, he likes the space and the time to work at his own pace. Crolla, his plan would be to deny him that, keep on him every second of every round. He's trained by Joe Gallagher, who believes pressure. All these fighters should pressurise, and that's what Crolla's trying to do, but at times just been a little bit reckless.
The jab from Crolla. Both of these guys were ABA lightweight champions, but 4 years apart. Morris with the experience in the season. Crolla used to look up to him as a fighter coming through. Could this be about knowledge?
It may just be one of, I mean, they've started off at a fair old pace. It could just be who's that little bit stronger, a little bit tougher, who can just give a little bit more of himself. I mean, you can see Crolla just, he wants to work every second. Can Morris find little spells to get his breath back, because this is not the pace he likes to work at. So it hasn't started happening yet for Crolla. You get the feeling it could well do.
Good movement from Andy Morris, the cute, snappy skills as well. But that's better from Crolla when he closes the range down. Decent defense as well. Had a great win stopping the former world title challenger Michael Brodie recently. Anthony Crolla. Brodie a long, long way past his best, of course, but that will give him confidence.
This is a much closer round than the first round. Crolla missing quite a bit, but I get the feeling he'll be quite happy with the way things are going. Nice little bursts of punches coming back from Morris. I think, again, he's doing maybe the eye-catching stuff, but definitely a closer round here.
Crolla's trainer Joe Gallagher was telling us beforehand that the judges might be impressed by Morris's little bursts, even though they don't all land. That is an interesting observation. Howard Foster, Victor Loughlin, Terry O'Connor, experienced officials all around us. Has Morris just done that little bit more again? Good left hand from Crolla.
I think the flashier punches, the eye-catching stuff again has come from Morris. Close round, but I think he's nicking it at the moment. But I don't think Crolla will be dismayed.
This is tight and competitive.
Go high, all right? And in the exchanges, as he's pulling out, you've got to go straight down the middle. Push, push, bang, 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 bang. Catch him as he comes out with the backhand, all right? Good. And keep making him work.
Joe Gallagher, whose other charge, John Murray, retained his European lightweight title in fashion last week, and the success on the computer goes with Crolla. Both landing 13 punches each,
round 3.
Says the statisticians, the computer, but it's all up to what the judges prefer, and it might be a case of that. Both of these guys in really good fights with Gary Sykes, who's ringside with us tonight, the British champion, and a rematch. Well, either of these guys would be good against the Dewsbury Warrior. Morris, the Wythenshawe Warrior. Anthony Crolla, like Morris, from Manchester, a derby and a vital fight in the Super Featherweight division.
I think Crolla just needs to show a little bit more imagination than he's doing. He's marching straight forward, just in straight lines, as though he fancies he can just outstrength and overpower Morris. So maybe use a bit more skill in the early stages of this one. Good job from him.
He's trying to get that jab going. Morris, more variety, and certainly lighter on his feet. Will he be able to keep it up for the full 10? Normally fights in patches, Andy Morris. Crolla just staying on top of him.
See, thinking fighters usually do fight in little bursts. You know, they have a plan. But Crolla is just prepared to keep marching forward, stay in punching range all the while and try and grind out a result.
Good action. Hooks from Morris. Crolla just trying to grab hold of the middle of the ring and back the former British champion up. Morris, the only man to have beaten Rendell Munro.
Yes, Andy, use your angles.
It's high quality, this, isn't it? Intelligent boxers.
Yeah, that's class. This is pretty much what we expected, probably maybe even better than we expected. Just non-stop action, and it's quality action.
These rounds could be very, very close. In case of what you prefer. Thumping punches of Crolla. The hooks of Morris. And the fans really live livening up around us here in Bolton. Warming up nicely.
Crolla beginning to come through what Morris has got now. I think that's his plan. I think he feels he can fight at this pace. He's obviously trained with this kind of fight in mind. Beginning to get closer now and come through what Morris has.
Good drive from Crolla in the third round. First definitely went to Morris, second so close, maybe Morris nicked it. This, a Crolla round for me, Jim.
Yep, I think it's paying dividends. I said at the end of the second round it wasn't great, but he wouldn't be despondent, and this is why it's starting to work.
First minute of this round, he'll run and his legs will go again. That's when you've got to go to work, all right? You've got to turn the screw now, Cole. You've got to turn the screw.
Joe Gallagher doesn't stop talking in the corner, but he's talking sense. Crolla's landed 2 less, but he believes Morris is already starting to blow. That's the tactics. Work the body of Morris, slow him down, and you'll come on strong.
Yeah, well, I think it was fairly obvious from the first bell what Crolla's plan was, just to try and grind him down. Empty his tank.
Who's trained harder? Both very proud fighters. Andy Morris has had a little bit of an up and down career. Anthony Crolla finding momentum. Might that be the difference tonight?
I think Morris may be finding that he's going to have to fight Crolla's kind of fight. And he started to do that at the beginning of the fourth year.
Yep,
standing his ground more.
Absolutely, planting his feet. Andy Morris trying to get some power into some of these body shots and slow down Crolla.
See, this is what he has to do. He has to stop the march of Crolla. If he can push Crolla back, I mean, that would completely break his plan in two. You can see what he's coming on his mind. He just wants to keep marching forward, grind him down. Good work here again from Morris.
Crolla's 2 defeats have been on points. Morris has been stopped on a cut to John Simpson and then really dismantled by the same Scottish man in 7 rounds when he lost his British Featherweight title. That was a bad night for Morris. And the Crolla team believe that Andy Morris is a little chinny. Is that true?
I mean, Morris has been there, remember. Crolla never has. So maybe that little bit of drive when we come down the stretch might be with the younger Crolla. But no signs of that yet, although Morris looking to grab hold there.
Referee Dave Paris just watching them work as we are as well at ringside. This is beautifully poised. The brains ticking over in there. Exquisite skills on display. Who's got the upper hand? It's a really hard one to call.
I think Morris is boxing beautifully at the moment, but I'm beginning to get the impression that the second half of the fight may well belong to Anthony Crolla. Another tough, close round. Just a bit more commitment from Crolla, which makes me think maybe he'll finish the stronger.
Right eye looking puffy though of Morris. A good jab from Crolla. Certainly had a better third and fourth than he did first and second, but can you split them this round?
And a tremendous round. Morris has been forced to stand his ground more here, but he's making not a bad job of it.
Living up to all expectations.
Next Saturday night, Prize Fighter is back. Our fabulous knockout competition features the heavyweights. That's next Saturday, 8 p.m. on HD1 and on Sky Sports 1.
Yep, the big boys back for the big cash prize. The little men doing the honours tonight. The 9 stone 4 boys, the super featherweights on display throughout this Saturday fight night. Here we go to the 5th round of a really engaging contest. Andy Morris in fight number 23 and Anthony Crolla in his 21st outing. Morris might just be ahead on the cards, but we don't know.
Well, again, Morris is supplying some beautiful boxing here, as you can see, the quality stuff. I mean, that really is lovely. He is making Crolla miss. I just feel at times Crolla needs a little bit more imagination than he's showing, just marching straight forward. He obviously fancies he's naturally stronger, younger and fitter. He needs to use his skills a little bit more, I feel.
4 years younger Crolla at 23. Good jab. Back comes Morris with a burst, but decent defence there from Crolla. They didn't land.
Yeah, I think they were partially landing on the forehead, which is the target. But maybe the pattern's going to be that Morris is going to win the early parts of the rounds with his cute boxing and his moves. And Crolla's going to keep charging forward, beginning to break him down. Morris definitely showing the accurate punching at the start of this round again.
Is he just at a higher level, a higher class, a higher plane, Andy Morris, ever so slightly in terms of technical skills?
See, again, making Crolla miss.
It's good work rate from Morris. Better, maybe, than in that fight with Gary Sykes.
See, the thing for Morris, he can box in the back foot, he's quite comfortable in the back foot, whereas if he can push Crolla back, he hasn't really tried to do that, not easily done, I would add. But he's adaptable, Morris. He can fight forward, back. Again, we're getting tough in the third minute of the round, but I think Morris has done well enough in the first couple to take a little breather here and just keep himself out of danger for the rest of the round.
Not just a chess match, though. Hard punches going in. More than I thought might happen, Jim. This is tough at times.
Yeah, I think Crolla is the one who has to change a little bit. He's just too basic for me, just marching straight forward. That's okay if your punches are getting home and you're grinding the other fellow down. Doesn't quite look as though he's doing that.
Such commitment between the pair. There was great respect as they came together for Dave Paris's instructions, and I bet they've got even more for each other now at the halfway point. Let's get straight over to Ed, who's with Gary Sykes.
Well, Gary, who's ahead first of all?
I had Morris winning first too, and I think it's looking more like Crolla's kind of fight now. He's looking more comfortable in there with that poker face.
Is that because the pressure's starting to tell on Andy Morris?
I think so, yeah. Like, Crolla looks more comfortable. He's looking quite strong, and I think it's going to be his fight when it gets to later rounds.
He's the younger man, isn't he? Probably a little bit fresher.
Fresher, and I think he's got more hunger in him.
So how do you see it going from here?
I think Crolla's going to take over a bit.
Thank you, Gary.
It really is still too close to call.
I can't believe it's going to the script. Just go out there and apply the tactics, put it on him, quick on the counters, and make him work, Jeremy. Drop the right hand over that jab of his and hit the body, all right? This is your moment now, son. I'm telling you now, there'll be no going back. You know these lot, they won't give you a second chance.
It's going right according to the script. He's 6 down in punches. Landed in total, Anthony Crolla. But this, the second half, is this where his strength, his physical power and his game plan really come into play?
Well, I said that in the fourth round I'd get the feeling that the second half of the fight might be his, but that didn't come to pass for me in the fifth. I thought Morris widened his lead to 2 points. Like Gary Sykes, I gave him the first couple. I thought he really boxed well in the fifth round there. I feel like Crolla must come up with something a bit better. If you're going to be in your opponent's face every second, then you have to be punching every second.
Good left hook from Crolla and an uppercut as well. Speed, though, with Morris. Interestingly, and I wonder the fact they both won ABA titles but 4 years apart. Was it harder in Andy Morris's day than it was in Anthony Crolla's? Is he just a little better, Morris? Good work from Crolla with the left hand. You heard Gary Sykes there saying this is where Crolla will come on. His hunger might win him it.
Well, his plan has obviously been that he would last the pace in this kind of fight better than Morris. Not showing itself quite yet. They're both throwing good quality, solid punches.
Jim, that right eye of Andy Morris is closing, and that could be a real problem. Remember, he lost to John Simpson on a cut eye. He has suffered before. Frank Hopkins in the corner, expert cutsman Mick Williamson on the other side. The top boys are in town for this.
One thing I have noticed, if Morris lands a solid punch, Crolla comes through it. When Crolla lands, Morris does not come through his punches. So I think the stronger punching coming maybe from Crolla.
A good body shot went in from Crolla about 15 seconds or so ago, and it just took a wince from Andy Morris, and a good headshot from Crolla. Morris trying to fight back, but Crolla just managing to find the gaps, and he looks strong and fresh, Jim.
Yep, just when you start feeling that, back again comes Morris. What a tremendous battle this is.
Frank Hopkins is worried in the red corner about the eye injury. That looks nasty. It's closing, almost shut.
Well, a swollen, closed eye is obviously worse than a cut eye. You can work with a cut, you can't do anything if the eye closes. So you'll probably see a lot of left hooks from Crolla. There's one there.
The jabs that started it. Good defence from Crolla. This is an important part of the fight, and this sixth has definitely gone to Anthony Crolla in a big way. How bad is that eye?
Big deep breaths now. Come on, suck up. Yeah, you're hurting him now. Listening. Alright, suck up through your nose now. Come on. Breathe in through your nose. Breathe in through your nose.
There goes the end swell from Frank Hopkins. Mark Davidson, his former amateur coach, with him.
Right, breathe in through your nose now. Come on, come on.
Well, the eye hasn't closed totally, thankfully. He's still seeing out of it. That's an injury that you would expect to get worse. But the solid punches in that round came from Crolla. As I was saying in commentary, he seems able to come through Morris's punches, but it's not happening the other way around, so maybe the tactics are going to pay off.
Have a look now. The bookies can't split them. Gun to your head, Jim, who wins? I think Crolla.
Well, I fancy that the second half of the fight may belong to Crolla. So we're reaching the stage now, we're going to find out about that. I still have Morris at 1 point up at the moment.
4 rounds left, but the pattern of the fight has changed. Anthony Crolla shows no signs of slowing down. No doubt in little spells and fits and starts, Morris has been the classier boxer, but he's got to sustain it. He didn't against Gary Sykes, and it cost him a British title at 2 weights. This is a good response from Morris.
See Morris with a bit of a nosebleed as well, which is not helping his cause much. Surprised we haven't seen Crolla work more to the body.
That's what Joe Gallagher was asking for. Morris, not an easy target, gets his elbows down well, very well schooled, had 65 amateur fights. Andy Morrison has won 19 of 22 pro bouts. Good left hook as well from Morris.
I mean, it's amazing there's hardly been a clinch. I mean, they've been toe-to-toe every round, but not a clinch. The referee doesn't even really need to be there.
A wonderful match and a wonderful division at the moment. The 9 stone 4 Super Featherweight boys. Stephen Foster Jr. coming up, trying to win the European title. Anthony Crolla gets a lovely shot in. He's trying to win the English belt. Gary Sykes at ringside. So much happening with these little men. He's not going anywhere, Crolla. He's not wilting.
No, and he's still able to come through what Morris is doing, but this is a tremendous battle. I mean, it's almost impossible to split them. It's just non-stop punching from both men.
There you go, lovely, and again, son.
It just shows how hard these fighters train and the pride. This is just an English belt, not even a British title. It means the world and wonderful work from Anthony Crolla, and Morris in a little bit of trouble in the 7th round. This is where he fell apart against John Simpson. Body shot, and Morris almost went there. Crolla, what a moment for Anthony Crolla, and Morris could be taken out inside the last 30 seconds of the 7th. The tank is empty. Morris in big trouble.
It's the 3rd body shot. Those 3 body shots have taken everything out of Andy Morris.
Looked in his corner. He's going to have to go down, surely. He might get stopped here. Andy Morris, and he will! Anthony Crolla! Well, he was a little bit $1 million there, wasn't he? Him and Joe Gallagher celebrate. What a week it's been for the gym after John Murray's triumph last week. That was a spectacular fight. For the English Super Featherweight title, it was nip and tuck all the way, but Crolla's tactics worked. He hung in there, and he gets the stoppage win to boost his career to a new level.
I mean, I was saying I was surprised that Crolla didn't work the body more often, and then about 10 seconds later, a beautiful body shot that just took everything away from Andy Morris. He followed that up with another couple of body shots to the same spot, and Morris just had nothing left. He was forced to fight at the pace he's not comfortable with all the way through. He was doing well. He was, I had him a point up at the stage, but Anthony Crolla was the one who looked happier with the type of fight and the pace of the fight, and it seemed to be turning with every round that passed in his favour. It looked like the second half of the fight was going to be his, but we didn't need to wait that long. This will be the first body shot, bang, at this stage and this kind of fight, that just takes everything away from you. You saw the reaction of Andy Morris. It just seemed to take everything out. From that point on, he was trying to grab hold to survive, but he landed another body shot just as he come onto the ropes. Crolla, not experienced at this level in finishing, he was clubbing when maybe she looked, and that was the second body shot, which was the last thing that Andy Morris needed. That just about drained every ounce he had. From that point on, he had nothing left. Looking at the corner, then another body shot, the fight was over.
Jim, we're hearing that the judges had Morris up by 2, 3, and by 6.
Well, he was producing the quality boxing again. I had him 1 point up. But you have to say, he is a quality boxer. I can see why the judges would like his work. I said several times, Crolla was a little bit basic, marching forward, walking onto punches. I'm not surprised they had him up. I'm surprised they had it as wide as that. I had him ahead, but I reckon the fight was turning in Crolla's favour the longer it was going.
What a fight for an English title, and what a night for Anthony Crolla, the biggest yet.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 2 minutes and 51 seconds of round number 7, star referee Mr. Paris has stopped the contest. In his opinion, Andy Morris was in no position to continue. Therefore, your winner, and he is the new English Super Featherweight champion from Manchester, Anthony Million Dolla Crolla.